Blake Lively's contract just got unsealed, and one demand has everyone stunned. You ever read something so ridiculous you start checking if it's satire? This is that. The same actress who's been parading around as Hollywood's latest wronged woman just had her own receipts filed in court, and spoiler alert, it's not giving victim, it's giving CEO of control issues. The 35-page document doesn't just list her salary, it basically reads like a luxury lifestyle catalog disguised as a legal agreement. And one clause in particular is so over the top, it makes Mariah Carey look humble. So here's what's real. The contract filed under Judge Lyman isn't gossip, it's verified. Blake earned $1.75 million just for showing up. Add multiple $250,000 box office bonuses, a 10% profit cut after certain milestones, and another $1 million+ in add-ons. Basically, the more tickets sold, the faster her wallet screamed for help. Then, we hit the perks section. Private jets for her, her 4 kids, 2 nannies, assistant, and security. Equal or better dressing facilities than anyone else on set. She literally wrote, equal or better. Like, girl, equality is not a competitive sport. She didn't want fairness. She wanted throne service. So yeah, the paycheck could buy a yacht, and the perks could staff it. But if you think it ends there, buckle up. Because buried in the fine print is the exact clause that makes her entire lawsuit look like performance art. See, her whole legal argument hinges on, they didn't protect me. But her contract? It literally has a sexual harassment policy built in defining what counts, how to report it, and how the studio can terminate her if she's the problem. It even mandates workplace training. That's right, the same training she later claimed didn't exist. She didn't expose Wayfarer, she exposed her own lack of reading comprehension. It's like buying car insurance and then suing because you didn't know you were covered. So far, the only person not following the script is Blake. But oh, it gets better. Halfway through, we hit what Perez Hilton dubbed the diva clause. It gives her consultation rights. Consultation, not control, over wardrobe, makeup, co-lead casting, and even the marketing campaign. But according to insiders, Blake treated consultation like it meant command. She allegedly dictated costumes, reshot photos, and played editor without a single editing right in her deal. That shiny executive producer credit she bragged about? Totally vanity. It's like she demanded the title because boss babe energy photographs better than hired talent. She wanted power without accountability. Cute until you realize that under her own contract, she had to defer to the studio every single time. And that's where things start to crack. Because right underneath her creative rider sits the nuclear clause, mandatory arbitration. It says every dispute must be handled privately in Los Angeles under JAM's rules. Translation: no suing, no leaks, no PR-friendly pity tours. But instead of following that, Blake went full broadcast mode. Lawsuit, leaks, and headlines. It's like she read binding arbitration and thought it meant binding press coverage. And she wasn't just violating etiquette, she was violating confidentiality. Filing this case publicly was the legal equivalent of subtweeting her own lawyer. And now we get to the part that broke the internet. The one demand that made even her fans go, wait, what? Her travel clause didn't just cover professional flights, it extended to her entire entourage. Her kids, nannies, assistant, and security, all on the studio's dime. Basically, she turned the production budget into a family vacation fund. Hollywood's supposed to be expensive, not subsidizing Camp Lively. And right below that, the morality clause, the one that lets the studio cut her loose if she embarrasses them. Combine that with her no nudity, no simulated intimacy clause, requiring written consent for anything remotely suggestive, and you've got a portrait of someone obsessed with control. She wrapped herself in morality like it was designer fabric, except now it's unraveling in court filings. She built a fortress of purity clauses and then screamed exposure when someone knocked. But wait, because the California law she's hiding behind might not even apply. Her attorney claims the contract is governed by California law, which helps her because of that 2022 statute banning forced arbitration in sexual harassment cases. Cute move, except the clause only applies to contracts made and performed entirely in California. The movie filmed in New Jersey, the signature never happened in California, and the contract itself doesn't meet that requirement. Translation: she might have built her case on the wrong state. I'm not saying she's lost the plot, but she's definitely performing in the wrong courtroom. And while the law part is already messy, the NDA turns this into a masterclass in self-sabotage. Her contract forbids her from disclosing, gossiping, or even hinting about production details by any means. Texts, emails, conversations. Doesn't matter. Every source close to Blake blabbing to the press was a breach. Even Ryan Reynolds could technically be considered a third party unless cleared in writing. So, when leaks hit tabloids or legal details mysteriously appeared online, she wasn't being silenced. She was breaking her own gag order. It's giving rules for thee, not for me. The NDA was airtight, yet she's out here shaking the champagne bottle herself. And deep down in the last few pages is where karma hides in fine print. The damages clause, tiny font, massive implications. Neither side can recover consequential, incidental, or punitive damages. That means no emotional distress, no reputational harm, no public punishment payout. In other words, every big dollar claim her lawsuit brags about, dead on arrival. She can't collect damages, she can't skip arbitration, and she can't tell her side publicly. It's like she built a locked room and threw away the key, then called it injustice. Now the optics are brutal. She accused the studio of silencing her, but she's the one who signed the silence into existence. Every safeguard she said didn't exist is right there in black and white. Harassment policy, COVID protocols, insurance, arbitration, morality, NDA. She didn't walk into a trap, she designed it. And now she's stuck in a cage she gold-plated herself. It's the Hollywood version of setting your mansion on fire and suing the landscaper for not bringing a hose. The Unsealed contract didn't expose Wayfarer, it exposed Blake. It showed an actress who wanted control so badly, she wrote herself into a corner. She didn't want a fair deal. She wanted her own kingdom, complete with private jets and moral immunity. And now that kingdom's crumbling, one court filing at a time. She called it empowerment, but it's starting to look more like entitlement. Because at the end of the day, you can't trademark virtue and then sell victimhood on clearance. So yes, Blake Lively's contract just got unsealed, and the only thing more shocking than her demands is how badly they aged. She built her brand on control, and now control is exactly what's eating her alive. And somewhere out there, karma is sipping tea, scrolling through court exhibits and saying, "You wanted equal or better? Congratulations, you got both."